don't know. I was like, good gracious, bodacious, flirtatious, trying to show patience. I'm waiting for the right time to shoot my steam, waiting for the right time.
Undoubtedly, if you haven't read, I wrote a comment about a day ago as of this recording. I wrote, Sony is an asshole. My 60 gigabyte is dying again. I recorded a new conversation that spills the truth as to why the agents say there is no known issue. Expect it in a week. I don't have an exact ETA, but let's just say that the recording is about an hour long, so I have to do a lot of editing to get out the points where I'm on hold. I have to take out, the points where it has my actual name, phone number, email address, and all that, and also the agent's name. But let me just explain a little bit as to what exactly happened. The PlayStation 3 still works. It's not completely dead. But the problem I'm having is actually in regards to the USB ports and the HDMI port. For some odd reason, starting 2 days ago, my PlayStation 3, whenever you would hook up anything into any of the USB ports, it would just immediately kill the HDMI connection. I don't know why, but it just started doing that. So the only way to rectify it is you have to go in the back, unplug the HDMI cable, and plug it right back in, and it fixes it. There weren't any software updates that came out in the past few days, so obviously there's something a little fucked up with the machine itself. It's not like Sony released an update and now I'm experiencing a problem. That's not the case. Since the last update, it's been working up until 2 days ago, as of this recording. The issue I have was with the attitude of Sony, and of course we all been there. We've all called Sony, saying, look, my PlayStation 3 refuses to read discs. My PlayStation 3 just gave me the Lie death. But you always hear a particular message from them. They usually tell you, well, there's no known issue. As you heard in my one recorded video, the guy actually said, we have the lowest failure rate of the competition, and I could tell you that as a fact. Yes. The basic gist of it is they are reading a script. Nothing new here, right? Well, we have a confirmation from one of the supervisors I spoke with. And again, I'm going to be releasing this in its entirety except for, some key information that no one should know about. And shorten out the fact that I was on hold for about 15 minutes. So the thing is that you're going to hear this person actually say that we're told what to say, and that we are specifically instructed to inform our customers that there is no known issue. Okay, that reconfirms exactly what we've known for a while, but now you're hearing it straight from the mouth of a Sony representative. And the problem I have is it's a fucking complete lie. It's a lie. And the thing is that the main issue into what's going on here is you have several different type of people. You have the Sony fanboys, right? That will, try to bash anyone that attacks Sony and will always put down people who own Xbox 360s and say, well, our PlayStation 3 isn't as bad. Yes, it is. Okay, if your PS3 is still failing, it's just as bad. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It doesn't matter how many times each fail. They both fucking failed. That's the problem. My Nintendo Wii still works to this day. Never had to send in for repair. Never had to deal with anything. Okay, that's what I expect out of anything I purchase. In regards to video games. The second type of person you have is a person that just doesn't want to see the truth. A person who lives in denial. A person who will actually repurchase the same fucking console over and over and over again just to play their games. And that's also an issue because now you're bumping up Sony's sales, but you're actually lowering their failure rate. Because if you don't actually go through them and get it repaired, in their eyes, your system never failed. In their eyes, you bought a second one. But, that's the problem there. And the third type of person are the types that want to play the whole little failure rate percentage game. No one here actually knows the correct percentage. But it is very safe to say that there is an issue with the PlayStation 3. There's no denying it. If you have had the yellow light of death happen to you, you know there's a fucking problem, because there's nothing that you as a consumer, other than you physically damaging the fucking thing, there's nothing that you have done if you left it in a nice spot, you don't abuse the fucking thing, there is nothing that you could have done that provoked the thing to die. It dies because Sony never really tested the system. It's the same fucking case with Microsoft. Microsoft started retrofitting bigger heat sinks, doing a bunch of other little things, lowering the, making the processor smaller, which is regular evolution. But it took a while before they started to slow down the red ring of death. Sony isn't doing jack shit. You send them a 60 gig, you get a 60 gig back. And it's going to have part for part exactly the same shit that your machine had prior to you sending it in. Whereas Microsoft was actually modifying key components in there, trying to solve the problem to end it altogether. They wanted to stop this red ring of death because it was starting to come out of their pocket. But because Sony is able to charge you, and that no one has successfully sued the shit out of Sony, they don't see the point in actually correcting the problem. Their goal is to essentially keep it quiet, make sure that no one realizes that this is a big fucking deal, and then they're just going to milk the situation and continuously collect your money for a problem that they caused. So that's the situation that we're in. My PlayStation 3, I cursed them out. I told them, look, this is getting fucking ridiculous. But my point was made, and my point was correct. I told the lady on the phone, you'll probably hear it later on. I said, look, back in September, I told you guys that my system would die after the 90-day warranty. And I was right. I consider the fact that anytime I plug a fucking USB device, either it be the DJ Hero dongle or the controller to charge, it fucking drops the connection to HDMI. That is a problem. There's no way you can ignore it because you're going to have to get your fucking ass off the chair and go over to the fucking thing, go in the back and rip out the cable and plug it back in. That is a problem because it's not supposed to be doing that. Now, at this point, we need to start attacking Sony. Or not directly attacking. We need to drive the point and make it very fucking clear. There is a fucking problem. And if you want to deny it, I've debated doing this. I contemplated doing this for a while. I had friends that told me, you shouldn't really do it. But you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do it. I'm calling out anyone out there on YouTube, right? Anyone who watches my videos and has a valid point to disagree with what I am stating here today. I'm stating that the yellow light of death is an issue. It needs to come out of Sony's pocket, not ours. And it's a growing problem. If anyone out there can come up with a valid fucking point and reason as to why my statement is wrong, I would love to hear you and debate with you on Skype. A bunch of other YouTubers here are actually doing similar things. I figured, you know what? Why not? I might as well do them as well. And the thing is that you know me. I'm a no bullshit type of person. That if you actually make a fucking valid point, I will make sure that your point will be presented in my next video. I will make sure that I bow down to you and say that I was wrong, you are right. But until that happens, my point stands. There is a fucking problem with the PlayStation 3. You shouldn't go out and buy a Slim just to stop the problem, because the point is, you bought a PlayStation 3 before. That PlayStation 3 should have worked. You're going to actually hear in the recording that the lady actually had the fucking idea to make an excuse that, well, it's a first generation PlayStation 3. Okay? She actually made a statement like that. So you're saying that from now on I shouldn't buy the first generation anything from you. It's a growing problem. It's getting out of hand, and we need to stop this bullshit. It's not just because it's affecting me that I made these videos. If you remember very clear here, my first yellow light of death that personally affected me didn't even happen until a while after I started making yellow light of death videos here on YouTube. So, as I said, the moment the yellow light of death would hit me, and you guys could quote me, it was on a back video I made, I said the moment the Yellow Light of Death hit me, it will actually be driving me to further get Sony back for what they're doing to us. Sony does not deserve to reap the benefits of fucking people left and right. They do not deserve more money and supporting their fucking bullshit when they're lying to our faces, they're fucking our wallets by charging us money for a repair that we should never have to pay for. The repair never lasts long and they only give you a 90-day warranty, which is complete bullshit. Come on. Do you seriously want to continuously support a company that's fucking you? Huh? As I said, the PlayStation 3 is a nice device when it fucking works. I love the games that are on the system, but I do not appreciate being fucked in the ass by Sony whenever my system dies. I do not support, an attitude and some sort of, I'm trying to explain what I'm trying to say here, but I don't support whatever it is Sony has up in their thick skulls. They invest more money in a fucking tester show than they actually do into correcting consumer problems. You call them, they tell you, nope, the only thing we can do for you is fuck your wallet while we have to send your machine out and we're just going to give you a refurb. You're going to lose your game saves. You're going to have to spend a good week re-downloading and re-updating every fucking thing you had on there. That is a problem. And I don't see why Sony still thinks this is a non-issue. And I know deep down they know this is a problem. But they're trying their best to speak lies. That's all they do. And that's all they're going to continue doing until we, as a community, fight back. We're consumers. Consumers shouldn't be screwed like this. And as I said, I've been bit in the ass by HP with defective hinges. I've been bit in the ass here. If you've seen my Mac, it took 5 fucking Macs before I got one that actually works. iPhones, I went through 7 of them before I got one that actually works. And it wasn't me. It wasn't my fault. If you were a friend or a family member of mine, you would have known that these issues just came. They came with the box. They weren't caused by me. Okay? And that's the problem with Sony. Sony is fucking people over. They released a defective system. Yes, granted, it may not die as much as Microsoft's Xbox 360. That's a known fact. But the problem is, it's still fucking dying. And I cannot accept that, at all. And it's always the same fucking problem. But every time you talk to Sony, like, well, the Yellow Light of Death could be caused by numerous problems. No. It's always the same fucking problem. Some people say, well, it's the hard drive. Well, if you take the hard drive out and turn it on, it doesn't yellow light. It warns you saying that there's no hard drive. Okay? You see, the thing is, if the hard drive was a problem and you ripped it out, it should have yellow lighted, but it doesn't. It's not the power supply. It has to always, it's always the fucking solder joints that are underneath the chips. So let's stick together. Let's actually start fighting. I need some ideas here as to what the next step should be. I thought about actually, we should do mass calling, actually call the company over and over and over and decline paying for stuff so that way they will report that they are getting outrageous numbers of complaints. We should start filing complaints with the BBB. We should, file a complaint and talk to the Attorney General because this is a big fucking deal. People paid $600 for this system. People have paid, $300 plus for these systems. The Slims are actually dying, which a bunch of idiots tried to deny that on one of my videos. The Slims are dying. I have seen several of them personally. I have seen them with the Yellow Light of Death. And I told them, well, it's still in the warranty, send it out. So these are problems. We need to stick together. If you really are a fan of the PlayStation brand, you should do the brand justice by telling them, look, we're not paying for this shit anymore. As a consumer, you want the company to do better. You don't want to allow them to fuck you over. And that's exactly what Sony's doing. So take care, guys. Check out my next video when it comes out. I hope I will have this recording completely edited out and stuff and make it a decent video. So take care. Have a good one. Check it out later.
This is #1 champion sound. Yeah, Estelle, we about to get down. Who the hottest in the world right now? Just touched down in London town.